call this meeting to order. Let the record show that all commissioners present. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to table we don't have one of our employees fell and hurt her hand, so we don't have the minutes. So she's doing all right. She just hurt her hand. So we're going to table the approval of minutes for the previous meetings. We have 3 citizens' comments papers here. Did anybody want to fill out one before I start calling them? I call them up the way they turn them in. So the first one will be Sheriff Joe Frank Martinez.
Judge and Commissioners, I did want to take a little bit of time this morning to recognize 2 of our employees for their actions this past Monday. Deputy Danielle Rockwell and Deputy Brian Belize. You know, their life-saving action this past Monday saved an individual that was in our custody. And eventually that individual was transported to a facility he was in crisis. So I just wanted to bring it to your attention that the actions of our 2 deputies, saved the life of one of our citizens. So,
thank you.
Sometimes we hear the bad news, we never listen to the good news. Thank you very much. Next one, we have Sandra Fuentes, Board Organization, and her no agenda item. Go ahead, Sandra.
Okay, I'm not bad news. So, good morning, Judge Valdez and County Commissioners. As you well know, that the Board Organization in previous years worked with this court, and in particular with Commissioner Owens, to ensure that a animal control facility be put up and the women's shelter expanded. And so I'm going to ask what the status of those 2 facilities are and hopefully get a date as to when the completion will be.
I cannot respond to that, but I don't have a date on that one.
Well,
I'm trying hard.
okay, and just because all our meetings with county personnel is public, we did meet with Mr. Padilla, and he informed us that the women's shelter would be probably towards the end of February, and the animal control would be like maybe at the most 2 months from now.
Right.
Anywhere close to that ballpark, only because it's been a while.
Like the judge said, if we'd had an agenda item, maybe we could have talked about it. But
we can't talk about
since it's in citizen comments.
You can come visit me, I can talk to the organization one-on-one on that.
Oh, okay, very good.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you. Adrian Gonzalez, Verde Regional Medical Center.
I actually have these.
Okay, just pass them out.
So there's actually a lot of information, and it's going to be a little hard to cover it in 3 minutes, but I'm going to do my best.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't you give us material, and then we'll put you on the agenda, and then as agenda item next time, and you can do the presentation. Is that okay, or do you need
Well,
to
we
do it?
wanted to make a brief presentation, Judge, Commissioners, if we may, and I'm helping her with this. She is our head SANE nurse at the hospital, and of course, SANE is our sexual assault awareness nurse team. And what we have is we have a SMART program here in town that we're all members of, part of the law enforcement, all of our law enforcement community is here as well, several of our advocacy groups and so forth. But what we're coming to the court for more than anything, it's a matter of dollars and cents. That's the bottom line. We need more nurses trained in this area, and it costs approximately $15,000 to train a nurse to get to this level. Right now, we only have how many nurses?
Right now, we currently have 2 certified nurses. We are in the process of training 2 more, and there's a lot of ongoing training that goes with this as well, so it can become quite costly.
So what we have decided as a group is that we're going, and BCFS is part of this as well, we're trying to go to all the local entities to ask for funds and donations. Now, I myself have pledged, and I will agree to pledge $5,000 from our discretionary funds to this purpose, because we need the help. These nurses help us in our sexual assault cases, which we have almost every day, it seems like, and I think Chief Noel and Sheriff Martinez will probably agree with me on that. We have an overabundance of these cases that were hitting us. Now, if we don't have these nurses here, we're going to have to send them somewhere else. Same thing with our forensic interviewers, which is another thing, another issue that we need to address, because we need to get those again as well. Because we lost our 2 forensic interviewers that were here before. We don't have those anymore. So we're trying to do this, and this is just a presentation to let you know that we want to come back later, put it as a formal item on the agenda, make a formal presentation, but we wanted to give you all a little bit of information to let you know why we're doing this and why it's so imperative for our community.
Okay, now I agree with you, but I would much rather have it on an agenda item so we can discuss it and ask questions.
Yes,
Okay?
that's fine.
Y'all can do that.
Yes.
Thank you.
But at least y'all have the basic
Right.
cursory information at this time.
Okay.
And I'll try to ask for an item to be placed on the agenda at our next time, I guess 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anybody else? Didn't turn in citizens' comments? All right, if not, let's go to item number 6. Discuss the possible action on request to enter an order approving the sale pursuant to Government Code, Texas, Property Tax Code 34.05, certain real estate previously struck off the county of Alberta pursuant to 34.01, parentheses C, of the tax code for delinquent and ad valorem tax, and allow the public sale of property for the purpose of minimum bid described in Exhibit A.
Good morning, Judge, County Commissioners. What these are the approximately 40 properties that were set for tax sale. We received no bids, and then I struck off to the taxing authorities to be held in trust. What I want to do is, I've listed the previous minimum bid, the adjudged value, and a resale bid amount. Put it back on the public steps for a lesser amount to get it back on the tax roll. If approved here today, then I do need to take it to the city offices to approve also for the same amount, also including a lot of these full compliance fees. So I want to put them all together to get these back on the tax roll. Again, these properties have different owners, surrounding owners. I'm going to send out notices to those surrounding owners of the tax sale, so they are aware if they're next door to a property, adjacent to a property, they can have a chance to bid on the properties. I don't have a sale date yet, because once I get approval, then I send out the notices. The maps of these properties, I have a binder in the Commissioner's Court office for them to look at. Also, I also have it mapped out once I get approval in our website, so they know exactly where the property is located.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Motion and second. Okay. Any more discussions or questions? If not, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Nobody, 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to item 7. Discuss and possible action on a letter to support an airline to come to Del Rio. But the city manager called me and he said that he just wanted a letter from us, that we support them trying to attract American Airlines to come to Del Rio. It's not going to cost us any money. We're not going to put any money. All we need is a letter of support from every entity, and that's what I'm asking for.
I'll make a motion to approve and authorize the judge to send a letter in support of the airline.
Second.
There's a motion, second. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Nobody, 5-0. Thank you. Next, item 8. Item 8, discuss possible action to waive attorney fees for property ID number 39601, owned by Debbie M. Nielsen. And I put that agenda item exactly the way it was the last time, so unless we can waive that, and I'm going to bring back another one of late fees too. So, you want to table it until we get everything together?
Motion to table.
Second.
There's motion and second. Okay, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Debbie, and it's, make sure, Ms. Nielsen? Make sure that I worded right. This was my mistake, so I'm sorry
It's
about it.
no problem,
Okay.
mistakes happen.
Okay.
That's why we're here, that's why I'm here.
Okay.
Because mistakes happen.
Okay.
And it's an honest mistake.
Okay.
It's not a problem, it's just,
I'll word it differently next time.
yeah,
Okay?
it's, and if, because the first time I didn't come to just want to discuss
Right.
it, I've made a trip to Del Rio to
Right.
get it resolved.
Okay.
And so, what agenda will it be on? What's the date that it'll be on?
The 24th. Okay?
24th of
Okay.
February.
Sorry about that.
No, it's no problem, mistakes happen.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. The 21st, I'm sorry. 21st, I'm sorry. All right. We're gonna, next, before we do the presentation of Mr. Rios, we're gonna discuss and act on on action on a resolution regarding wind farms. I think all of you got the resolution there, and they made the presentation in the last meeting. I don't think we have to discuss it anymore.
If we'll, Anna just received it, so we'll give her a minute to look
Okay.
at it.
It's fine.
It's fine?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, do I need a motion?
Motion to approve as presented.
There's a motion, I need a second. Good. Second. Any more discussion or question? If not, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
4-1. Oh, you oppose it?
Yes.
Okay, so it's 3-2. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, now let's go to item number 9. Discuss possible action on presentation of Orlando Rios regarding the upcoming 2020 redistricting of Alberta County. Mr. Rios, come up.
Judge and Commissioners, thank you for letting me speak to you today. Every 10 years, the federal government undertakes an enormous effort, and that is to count every human being that lives in the United States. And it's a very, very important effort because it determines two things. Number one is political power. For example, in 2010, Texas picked up 4 congressionals, California lost 1, and New York lost 1. So it determines political power. The second thing it does, the census, is it allocates federal funds. Federal funds are allocated on the basis of population. The problem is that a lot of times when they count the census, in fact, every decade when they count it, they miss people. And the people that they miss the most are usually Latinos and racial minorities. And so for every one person that you miss, the local community loses out on $2,500 over a 10-year period. So it's real important, when I talk to my clients, it's real important that the community leaders like yourself get behind the effort to count every person. In a place like Del Rio, there's going to be a lot of people that don't want to be counted because they're afraid of immigration and so on. The reality is that the federal law prohibits immigration authorities from having access to census data. So it's very important that we make sure everybody gets counted. I did the redistricting for this county in 2000 and in 2010. I'm a redistricting lawyer and would like to do it again. Would be honored to do it again, and that's why I'm here for the presentation. It's a 3-year contract. It's $8,000 a year for 3 years. And what I do is I prepare a pre-census analysis, tell you where the population's growth, what precincts have to be changed. I meet with you individually or as a group and make the changes you want so we can get ready for the elections. And I'll be more than happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Rios, does this redistricting take place every 10 years?
Yes, sir.
That's the law, state law, or
It
the
has
rule.
to.
It's got
You
to.
have to have
It can't be
equal
before that.
population.
I mean,
Oh, you
you
can
know,
make
there's some areas that are growing and booming.
You can, the reality is you can make changes in your redistricting plans as long as it complies with federal law anytime you want. The problem is, the reality is though that every 10 years there's a census taken and you have to analyze your precincts and make sure there's equal population, because if there isn't, you have to come within 10% equal protection. The equal protection clause in the Constitution requires that deviation between the top and the lowest populated districts is less than 10%. Every county does it, every school board, every city, and every state.
You've done this for us quite a few times, but as we do with most of our professional services, I'd like to see us go out for requests for qualifications and start relooking at this issue.
Okay. So you want to make a motion to?
Well, I mean, I don't know on this, but if we can put an item to do requests for qualifications.
Okay. Tim, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Next, we have item number 11, discuss possible action on approval of and to accept donation of sand from Commissioner Gustavo Flores for the Precinct 4 Park.
Did this go before the grant review?
Yes,
It did.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved. Need a second?
I'll second it,
Second.
Counselor. I know there's a provision in the government code on how we can give materials back to the county. Are we complying with that? There's a format that we have to follow.
They're giving it back?
I mean, donating material to the county, I'm sorry.
Mr. Flores is the one donating the material.
Which is suspicious in itself. I can look at it.
I know it can be done because I've done it before
Yeah.
myself, but I was thinking there was a form we had to fill out for him to sign, if I recall correctly. It's perfectly fine with doing it, I just want to make sure that we're...
I understand. I'd just like to tell the court that the reason I'm doing it is I got plenty of Sandy loan, a bunch of it, and the second reason is to help out the county, avoiding costs there.
No, and I've done it too. I've donated materials to the county. I just couldn't remember what the process was. I just want to make sure everybody's
Okay.
doing what they are. But we have a motion.
I made the motion.
You made the motion.
And I think
Second.
we'd run into this once before, and I think you needed to bring it to the court and,
Yeah.
then file something with James.
There was something that had to be filed, but I don't remember what it
There was an
was.
affidavit needed to be filed with James.
Okay.
I just want to make sure we
Make the
do what we
motion.
have
Yeah,
to
we'll get it together.
do. Okay, all right.
I'll make a motion to accept and have Commissioner Flores file an affidavit with,
Second.
the amount.
Okay, there's a
Or
motion.
just comply with the law. 'Cause it may not be an affidavit.
I don't remember what it was, but there was something.
Comply with the affidavit.
Comply with the law.
Comply with the law. Second, accept.
All right. There's a motion and a second. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those
Aye.
opposed? Nobody?
I'm gonna let you break.
5-0.
No.
All right, now let's go to item 12, discuss possible action regarding the Valverde County, Texas, entering a monthly lease agreement with Pitney Bowes to provide mass mail postal service for the 83rd Judicial District Court.
Good morning, Judge, Court. We're currently on a 3-year contract. It's going to end. We're currently paying $178.59. The new rate is $197.91. So maybe we may have to do a small adjustment at the end of the year to cover the difference.
Motion to approve.
So motion, I need a second.
Second.
Second, any more questions or discussion?
You
If
got
not,
it.
We don't sign it?
all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye, all those opposed? Nobody.
Commissioner Owen.
What? Why is there an echo?
Because they turned the volume up.
There's feedback. Did you talk to Ram or did you do it on your own?
No, I didn't do it on my own.
All right.
What'd you do?
Item 13, discuss possible action regarding the transfer funds from 83rd District Court Office Supply to capital outlet to the purpose of purchasing computer equipment for the amount of $1,331.09.
So moved.
So move.
They have money, right?
Yeah, they have.
Yes.
That help?
Yeah.
I did.
Okay. There's a motion. You made the second one, Commissioner?
Yes, I did.
Okay, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody's 5-0. Next, discuss possible action regarding purchase of a new vehicle for at-risk management department to replace the damaged one. The price of the new one is $33,375. $25,000 is available from insurance claim. Balance estimated cost $8,375. That's to replace the one that was wrecked, right?
That's correct, but we need court direction of where to find the difference.
Yeah, I think we covered that.
We'd already covered it. in the last time.
Yeah. Motion to approve and take it out of contingency.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any more questions or discussion? If not, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Next, item 15, discuss possible action regarding the purchase of a new laptop computer for IT department, estimate cost $1,589.60.
I had actually asked Rand to put this on there. The one that we had bought him several years ago is kind of wore out.
About 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was about 5 years ago, and it's wore out, and we need to, he uses that one for everything to keep up our system, so we need to look at possibly replacing it. So I'll make a motion to authorize him to purchase that and to take it out of contingency.
Okay, there's a motion.
Second.
Second. Any more questions or discussion? If not, all those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Item 16, discuss possible action to declare the following items as surplus property disposition. Disposition may, but not limited to, be auctioned, reassigned, recycled, destroyed, or donated.
Motion to approve.
The motion, I need a second.
Second.
Second. Any questions or discussion? Not all those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0.
I usually have a line item for, purchase order authorization. It was, accidentally left out, and
So can
so
we talk about it?
here, we're gonna move it into bills to be paid, and we can discuss it at that time.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you. All right, now let's go to item 17, discuss possible action requesting approval of purchase of 6 body cameras out of office expense for a total of $3,660.
Move.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any question, discussion? If not, all those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0.
How long is it gonna last, did you think? How long do these generally last?
It just depends on the wear and tear. And we've taken, the reason that, we're asking for 6 additional is because we've taken back the ones that the augmentees and the reserves have to issue them out to the deputies on duty, so we just gonna, once we get these new ones in, we'll replace the new ones to the people that are needing them the most, and then feed them down to the
Yeah, I
reserve.
think the reason he's asking is so we can either tag them or not tag them as a capital expenditure. If they're a 1-year deal, it's one thing. If they're 5 years, it's something else.
Yeah, well, see, the last cameras, these cameras that the court purchased, I think was 2.5 years ago.
Mhm.
So just wear and tear on installed band.
It's up to the court.
And how much are they a piece?
The piece are $595.
$195 a piece?
Yes, sir.
They're just barely over.
Yeah.
How do you replace them? Dispose of them? Do you trade them in?
No, well, the ones that are not functioning are put aside, and we just, we have no surplus at this time.
Okay.
So, what would the court like to do? Would you like to allow them to use the office expense for that, or would you like to do budget adjustment?
Do a budget adjustment, put it under capital so we can track it.
Okay. Okay.
Is that part of that motion?
Part of
Yes.
the motion, okay. Second, accept.
Second and second.
Okay. Any more questions, discussion? If not, all those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Next, item 18, discuss possible action authorizing Sheriff Joe Frank Martinez to apply for and accept the local border security program grant, adopt the resolution and give the judge authority to sign it.
Move.
So move.
Second.
Second. Any question, discussion? Not all those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Item 19, discuss possible action requesting approval of purchase of 1 electric air compressor out of the gun range line item for the amount of $799.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion, second. Any question, discussion?
Same process.
Yes, same process.
Okay. Okay, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Thank you, Sheriff.
What do you say, same process coming out of capital?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll transfer the line item into capital so we can track what we're doing.
Thank you.
That way, when we do next year's budget, we know what we actually spent in office and what we actually needed in capital.
Okay, thank you. All right, item 20, discuss possible action to transfer $3,500 from office account into training account.
Money?
So move.
You have the money?
Yeah.
Second.
Second. Okay, any questions, discussion? If not, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Item 21, discuss possible action requesting approval to accept a check of donation in the amount of $1,251.73 from the Friends of the Library for the summer reading program and robotics program.
Sorry, Judge.
Okay.
Did it go before the grant money?
Yes.
Motion to approve.
There's a motion. Second. Any more question, discussion? Not all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. This one also went. Discuss possible action requesting approval to accept the donation of Christmas decorations from Friends of the Library, a value of $1,500.
As I asked in the Grants Review Committee, this started in November. We spent the money and then we came to the court. This needs to happen before we spend the money.
Okay.
Got it.
Move.
So move.
Second.
Second. Okay, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Okay, item 23, I think all of you have a page report.
It's only the preliminary report.
Right.
No action needs to be taken. It's just information
Okay,
that needs to be submitted.
thank you. All right, item 24, HR monthly report, January 19, 2018 through February 5th, 2018.
Move.
So move.
Commissioner Nettleton?
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
The second.
Second. Go ahead.
You had asked, y'all voted on whether you wanted, the treasurer's name on it instead of the auditor's name, and the treasurer and the auditor had some kind of agreement. Did y'all want to tell the Commissioners Court what it is that you want to do, or how you want to handle it, or?
Well, I think we agree on the way it's worded now. Probably the proper way to have this worded instead of assigning it to a single department.
Okay.
So we just,
Okay.
yeah.
So you're good?
Good.
Yeah, it's probably a better way to have it worded.
The monthly report.
Okay. There's a motion, a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed?
Judge, I'm going to abstain.
Abstain, one abstention. 4-0-1. All right, next we have the monthly audit report. I think all of you have that one.
Morning, Judge.
Morning.
Commissioners. We have the audit reports. Do we have any questions on the expense report or the payable register?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Need a second?
Second.
Second, okay. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. All right, next we have discuss possible action on negotiated settlement with district attorney.
Correct. I disseminated that agreement and in the current form. She did not want to sign it.
Okay.
So it's my understanding the issue is the equipment, the clause in there about the equipment, or the stuff that he has now, that in the original agreement, there was a clause that you were okay with?
That's my understanding, Commissioner. I was not given a copy of the original proposed agreement, but as representations were made to me by our county auditor, there was a provision in there that basically said that anything that we have purchased or accumulated in our office since January 1st of 2017 forward, with the funds that I had, including desks, computers, monitors, anything of that change, including our vehicles, will remain, of course, with our office for the sole use and benefit of our office, subject to my discretion. However, if the county chooses later on to maybe try to take the property, then
I wouldn't agree with that one either.
I want to have fair and just compensation.
All right, can we add that clause back in there? So we can get this thing done? We've been
No,
at it.
we need to have it in there. It
original.
was originally in there, but it wasn't as part of the agreement that was sent to me. Subject to that, if I can have that phrase in there, I'm comfortable with everything else. I'm comfortable with the division of the funds in the different accounts, and I would love to get this done today if we can.
We've
If
been
we
on
can
it
change
a
that.
while.
It's just the wording. It's not worded the way Mr. Bagley says it is. It distinguishes between the money that the county spent, if he spent county money on it, or if he spent his money.
And it's real simple, guys. We can argue semantics all day.
Let's not argue.
I'm not going to sign it unless it has that provision in there.
We've been at this a year. I'm tired of dealing with it. We need to get it resolved.
I agree with you.
So,
Can you prepare a clause the way you want it to go?
I'll be glad to.
Okay.
I'll be glad to put that in there.
I will make a motion to approve it with the clause pending review by the county attorney and the judge to make sure they're okay with the wording, and then authorize them to sign it.
That'd be great.
So there's a motion, I need a second.
Well, Mr. Cerny has it.
Wait a minute, I need a second?
Second.
Second. Yes, Mr.?
Then, my interpretation of this motion is that this will remain his property and will not be covered.
No, that's not.
No.
It's the same thing we do with every other
If we-
district. If we take something from a precinct, we compensate them
That's
for
it.
it. The same thing that we do everywhere else. So
Everything
if-
is gonna be
If I sell a
covered.
piece of equipment, the money comes back to my precinct, or if one of the other commissioners want it, they buy it from, it's the same concept.
Right.
It's the same concept, but it's still county
So
property.
everything's gonna revert back to the county, including everything, especially the vehicles, so we can get that covered through TAC, because our coverage is fixing to expire at the end of this month, so I need to make sure we have coverage.
With this clause in place, all your property will become county inventory property.
Except any personal items that I brought into the office or any of my
Yeah.
employees,
Yeah.
we will do an inventory
Yeah.
to that effect. I think there's a clause in there that says that we need to get it done within 60 days after the agreement is intact.
Okay.
We'd actually, just for clarification, we'd actually brought that to the court, I think 2013, 2014, so
Yes.
it's even part of our minutes.
And if I recall correctly, Commissioner, I think that we've already tendered to Miguel with purchasing a listing of everything that we've purchased since we've got it there.
Just get us,
Yes, we've already got that there also.
get us the word out.
Okay, there's a
Thank you.
motion, a second, all those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0.
Thank you, gentlemen,
Thank
very
you.
much
Thank
for working with me on that, and
Thank you.
I'd be glad to get this done. And I would ask, however, that after we get this done, that it be placed in the minutes of the record.
Okay. Thank you. All right, next, item 27, discuss possible action on certification of new revenue, possible adoption of a special budget.
Okay. What we do have, since that agreement is not active yet, we still do have the insurance claim from Lockheed for $90,000. We need
Yeah,
to
for the
process, we need to figure out a budget for that and where we want to put it. We can simply just put it in a contingency,
No.
figure it out from there.
Well, you can, but that's the sheriff's rate.
Yeah.
There needs to be a budget for how we're gonna spend it.
That money is the sheriff's rate.
No, I understand, but I mean, we still need a budget, don't we? We can't spend money without a budget.
Right. Well, that doesn't mean you can put it in any line item you want and then just appropriate it from there. But it has to be, it's the sheriff's funds?
It's the sheriff's rate.
How is it dictated on that?
It came from a grant,
Correct.
the sheriff's grant,
Which Valverde County funded.
and it's for specific use. The
Okay,
grant
so it
was
is
for
for-
specific use.
Okay, so it's for specific use.
Mhm.
Okay.
So why don't we just create a line item for the sheriff on that?
The sheriff.
I thought we talked about it the last time. We already created, we were gonna create a line item and
Lock-
then
the
most of these
Lockheed
funds could be
money is
taken out
yours.
of. That's what we
Can you
talked
explain that
about.
to Matt?
No, then that's what, I need authority to create one, and these are insurance claims or something like that. We don't currently have.
The issue is we can't expend funds that is not in part of our budget, so we have to show the revenue coming in and we have to show the expenditure going out.
Absolutely.
Wherever we put it, it is what it is, but you still have to have the revenue coming in, which means we have to amend the budget or create a special budget.
Correct.
Showing the revenue and then showing the expenditure.
Absolutely.
That's the process that we need to follow. And whether it's in his department or any other department, it's the same concept. So we still need the revenue and a special budget, and then what you're going to spend it on.
We talked about this 2 meetings before, and we had talked about setting up a line item to accept the revenue. And you're the one that had brought it up.
Okay.
But we can't set up a new line item. It has to be added to a line item.
No, we can set up a new.
No, he had said that he wanted to set up a new line item.
The court can.
Yes, and I think your recommendation was to set it up because we had 2 sets of funds coming in, one of them his and then from another source.
Okay, so how do you set up a new line item for the budget?
We adopt and amend the budget, adding the line items, and then we have to do a budget amendment to do it.
We might want to revisit that.
Well, when's this money coming in?
The money already came in.
It's already
Okay,
here.
then where are we gonna put it? We need to put it somewhere today.
Right now, it's in the Secretary Treasurer's office, so it has not.
We need to
Okay.
put it somewhere today.
Create insurance claims or settlements, something like that. We currently
The line
don't-
item.
we currently don't have one, and we continually have insurance claims coming in.
you can't create a line item unless it's an emergency. You can move money from one line item to another, but you can't create a new line item.
Where would you want to put it today, right now?
Today, right now,
Where would the sheriff want to put it?
we could,
In your last one?
on the revenue.
Where does he have a revenue account?
Exactly,
He doesn't have a revenue account.
exactly.
Where
we
does
could-
your grant money go?
The grant monies are reimbursed by, so the county is reimbursed, for the expenditure that it makes.
I can tell you,
Where does that go?
So the grant money is not ever awarded in advance.
Right, so
Did you
when
put
you
it
get
in
your
your contingency?
reimbursement, where does it go?
If you just put it in your contingency.
we have a grant line item in there where money goes in and money goes
Say
out.
it out of there.
Say it.
Put it in the
Say it.
grant line item.
Hey, the problem's gonna be, is if it gets mixed in, it's not an independent line item, it's gonna get spent.
If we were to put it in contingency, and you keep track of that money,
Right, we can put it into contingency, or we can put it, we can create another special, revenue line item for him. We fund that line item, if that's how you guys choose to do it.
I think we need to create an item, a revenue item for the sheriff.
Then he
That way
needs
we
the
can
budget.
separate the money from.
Can you amend the budget?
Yeah, you can do it
Oh, I mean,
in-house.
we can amend the budget.
No, you can't. You can't add a line item. You can do it in-house. You know, you can set it up in-house so that Matt knows what that money's for.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, he puts it in contingency, and he just needs to keep track of it, just like our general fund. There's funds that are mixed in the general fund, and he actually knows how much is the balance on different funds.
Mhm. And that way, actually, if he does an in-house one, then when the budget rolls around, he knows what line items he needs to add.
Can you do that?
I'm sorry, no,
Can you do the liability, contingency deal?
can I put it in contingency?
Yeah, I meant.
I can't do that, but if we're going to dedicate to the sheriff one, I just create a special revenue for the sheriff, that way the fund balance will
She's
roll every
saying,
year.
Okay, we can.
Then you're gonna have to bring it to the court for every single expenditure of it. You don't have a budget. Still gotta have a budget.
There's a difference between budgeting and accounting, because you can have a whole lot of money in the general fund, but you account for it separately. You can, you know, it's about accounting, so you just set up I don't know how Frank did it, but he would have everything in the general fund, but he would account for it separately.
Then
By the
make it
way,
right.
Frank is home doing fine, Commissioner Nelson, thank you very much. But he would put everything in the general fund and account for it separately. That's what he would do, so he would do it in-house, his
How do you
accounting.
want it?
How would I like to do it? I did research an AG opinion on creating line items during the year, but I know that's in debate, so I won't even bring that in.
How do you want to do it? What would be best
We
according to
need
you?
a line item on revenue to bring it in, and I can just pick any revenue item, if we want to create one, and then we can assign it over to the sheriff's special revenue, and then have him write up a budget for that revenue and how it's to be spent.
I would like for us to create a revenue item for
I
the
don't want a
sheriff.
budget. I don't know what we're gonna do with it.
Okay.
That's been the problem here for a long time, is we track things to an Excel spreadsheet and the court has no idea what the hell's going on.
Well, that's why you account for it separately, and when the budget year starts, the county auditor will tell you what line items are being accounted for separately, and then y'all can actually create an actual line item.
Commissioner, you want to make that in form of motion? Commissioner Flores?
Well, you just want to bring in the special revenue and create an account, create a
A
budget.
new line
Which we
item,
can
revenue
do.
item
Okay.
for the sheriff, so we can
Well, you
transfer that
can create a
money.
new budget.
Yes.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Second.
Motion and second. Any more questions, discussion? If not, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nobody, 5-0. Thank you.
What are you gonna do with an expense? Do we need to create something to do with an expense? Or
Well,
you
he has to
take
bring
out
us
the
a
same line
budget.
item?
He has to bring us a budget.
Okay.
And then we approve the budget for that line item.
Is that it, Matt?
That is it. Thank you.
Yeah. Council, do we need an executive session?
I don't want to answer those questions.
Okay.
We really don't.
Hmm?
We really don't.
Okay. All right, let's go to item 31. Any subdivision plats? Commission? Okay. No certificates of compliance? All right. Approve monthly reports from elected officials?
Move.
So moved.
Second.
Second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Nobody. 5-0. Approve bills for payment?
Matt,
Yes.
I forgot to tell you.
Okay.
I have some to add. Sorry about that. Sonia and Sylvia's mother's having surgery, so they left me in charge, and I'm not good at these things. I think they're just phone bills.
You need to add these. We got-
Yeah, Roy.
Roy, that's this.
You okay with them?
Pardon? Yes, I'm okay with those.
Make a motion to approve the bills, to add the ones that the counselor just gave for
Verizon.
Verizon, and to add the one presented by the purchasing agent that needed POs or was short the amount of POs.
Okay.
Second.
There's a motion and second. Any more questions or discussion? If not, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Nobody. 5-0. There's no comments from me.
Well, what about item 27? Did I miss that?
What?
Item 27, sorry. Did I miss that?
That's the one we just did.
That's the one we just did with the sheriff.
New line item
For
and for his.
line item. For the sheriff.
But then you don't need a line item. Okay,
Okay.
got it.
All right. If nothing else, this meeting's adjourned.